Joining me now to further discuss Rebecca Walser, Gary Kaufman, and Rebecca, just your thoughts. You know, the financial fallout from the Biden agenda, and what we could expect if he can get some of these things he talked about last night.
I mean, I agree with you, Charles. It was very disjointed, very hodgepodge is the way I would describe it. And what's the clear message? Except for the checklist of old ideas that aren't working. I can't understand anybody's decision to keep going down the same road and not giving us a unity message, a refreshing message, a message of hope and change for the future, which sounds familiar, you know, to the Biden administration. But it's just doesn't make any sense. And, you know, the only reason the market is doing well today, as it is, Charles, is not because of Russia and Ukraine and not because of the State of the Union last night, but it's because of Powell's comments before Congress. Yeah. So this is the reason that we have to get some clearer direction, because inflation is not going anywhere without real hard action.
Well, we got clear direction, Gary, on what Powell wants to do. He clearly wants to flood the economy with more money. But we've got 11 million job openings, right? These mask restrictions are coming down. People are itching to get back and go out to work. You know, why doesn't he just kind of sit back and watch American greatness play out? He doesn't have to nudge us. Just let us go.
I've said it before. I said it again. Some people just don't believe in the people. They believe more in government, and they show it every day. I was stunned. We have oil prices at $110 and no mention of producing more oil, but let's beg OPEC to produce more oil, and let's depend on Russia to get more oil. And then I hear the words, as we're just coming out of pandemic, where you can ask my good friend Carol Roth how bad it's been for small business. Yeah. He wants to raise taxes on the economy and grow government more with more giveaways, handouts, grants, and who knows what else, without any accountability. It flies in the face of what works. And either you believe in the people and business to do their own bidding and put in their own hard work, or you believe in the long arm and the strong arm of the government. Every time we try to pop our heads up, they take a mallet out and just hit us right over our head. And again, we're at 110 oil, and they're doing nothing about it. And I promise you, inflation is bad now. If it worsens from here, all bets are off, my friend.
And I want to pick up on that, because one of my concerns is, we've heard this again and again, but as you listened to it again last night, this war on, supposedly a war on wealthy people and big business, right? We always hear that, but it's small businesses and it's middle class that gets hit. I want you to take a look at this morning's ADP jobs report. Large companies, the largest companies hired 552,000. The smallest lost 96,000. Rebecca, this picks up on what Gary was just saying. It's already these policies mix them, between the masking policies, the wage policies, the higher minimum wage stuff. It's taking a toll on the folks that we need to really generate the real activity on the income ladder.
You're 100% right, Charles. And I would hate to use this word sparingly, but I will say it's kind of a fascistic model. And what I mean by that is coronavirus shutdown kills the medium-sized and small businesses that are really the engine of job growth in this country. And when you see only 552,000 jobs, which is not a bad number, but picked up at the Fortune 500 level or above, you can see what these policies of being shut down, forcing people to use vaccine passports, having these mask mandates, has done to our small and medium-sized businesses. And it's been fortified with this, Fortune 500 globalist sort of, infrastructure, if you will. And it's where we're headed. And it's not how America has made itself great. And that is a problem. And I would just say that I would love just to see Joe Biden just take economics 101, because he doesn't seem to understand any economic policies or parameters. He is completely out in left field. I expected something completely different last night at the State of the Union, and I didn't get it. And I guess I shouldn't be surprised. But I do wish he would understand basic economics, because nothing his administration does make sense.
To that point, though, he does think, because he lives in Delaware, where a lot of companies are incorporated, intuitively or somehow by osmosis, he's a business expert. Let's talk about the market for a moment, Gary. Stocks exhibiting some spunk here. They've been exhibiting spunk for the last week or so. Do you take anything from at least the sort of resolve, the sense that the market wants to break out?
Charles, last week the market put in a good low with a gargantuan washout retest of January 24th. Today is a pretty darn good confirming day. I don't really care why. Leave no doubt. You know what I think. Powell with his monstrous quarter point raising of rates. But I don't care. I care about price action. Everything else to me is noise. I see the S&P breaking above a little bit of range. Looks like the NASDAQ 100. There's a ton of warts out there, but technically much, much better. Keep in mind, though, the market's being led by energy, commodities, shippers, agriculture, and the like. Other things are really way behind. Hopefully they catch up. If they do, market will be going higher. All I know is we have a good low in place right now, and opportunity, once you have a good low like that, opportunity hopefully will show up. My problem is Jay Powell better be right when he says he expects inflation to come down now, because if he isn't, rates are going to go much, much higher in spite of him. And again, then that's going to be a problem. And unfortunately, he's been wrong all the way.
Yeah.
I'm actually rooting for him to be right now, that inflation comes down. But oil up another $7 today. Not fun to see.
You know, maybe when the books are written, we'll have, Ben Helicopter Bernanke and Jay Soft Landing Powell. That would be the best scenario. Rebecca, Gary, thank you both very much. Yeah, that would be good for all of us.
Thanks, Charles.
Maybe he's right, hopefully. All right.